Sup brothers, it's been a while. I just wanted to come and make this video to explain my personal opinion. I have to get that out of the way because not a lot of people understand that this is my personal opinion, because I've had people before say to me, that's not that, you don't know nothing about the story. I'm like, okay, sorry. I don't just mean about Red Dead, I mean about other things as well. Even in real life, people are you don't know that. I'm like, no, it's what I think happened and what I think is the best character. And then no. So yeah, I just want to get that out of the way. This is my personal opinion because this is what I think could happen, because there's two outcomes that I think could happen. The first one is the most likely. Me from the future here, I just want to cut in real quick to just say one thing. After saying the rest of the video, after saying the rest of the theory, I don't see theory 1 being the most likely outcome anymore. I see the other ones, because I did say 3. One of them I didn't touch, the third one I didn't really touch on, but I don't see the first one really being, how do I put it, most likely anymore. So whenever I say theory 1 is most likely, I changed my mind halfway through the video. I was like, wait a minute, that would never happen because of this and that. So yeah, just to get that out of the way. The first one is more than likely what will happen. The second one might surprise you, but you have to wait and find out. So, what I think will happen, the first thing I can think would happen would be Red Dead Redemption 3 would be before Red Dead Redemption 2, and I don't think that's ever been done in gaming, but well, Rockstar anyway, to make a prequel of a prequel. I mean, I don't know. I'm almost confident it's been done in gaming before by other companies, but like Rockstar, I don't think it's ever been done. I could be wrong about that, of course. Correct me if I'm wrong, but what I think would happen is it would be before the story of RDR2, showing how the Vanderman gang came to be. Now, I'll be honest, I don't think a young Dutch would really be too entertaining. I mean, I could be wrong about that, just opinionated. I don't think young Dutch would really be fun to play as, because you're just he's like, I think we should run a gang. I think we should do it. I think we should do it well. Then Hosea's like, I don't know, Dutch. I mean, maybe we can try. I mean, we can go for a while. Then they meet a young Arthur Morgan. I don't know about this whole gang business. I know you saved me and all, but I don't know. You see, I maybe if you do something for me, I'll join you. But if you don't, well, too bad. I mean, you saved me, so I owe you my life. But I don't know, maybe. And then, of course, the gang starts there, and then the story goes on. But it wouldn't. What I personally think couldn't happen is that outcome, for one specific reason. Arthur says this in the story.
And how long have you been with these boys? Why ain't you run off?
Me? 20 years, something like that. Since I was a boy.
20 years?
Right, Arthur says he's been running with the gang for 20 years. I don't think Rockstar's capable of doing that, making the game go on for 20 years. I mean, yeah, Red Dead 2, it looked like it went on for a while, but if you think about it, the entirety of Red Dead Redemption 2 was in the span of about 6 months. Right, it starts in spring, because Arthur says at the beginning, it's not the spring I was hoping for.
Some old abandoned mining town while we wait the thaw. Hardly the spring I had been hoping for.
And then it looks like it ends around, I don't know, fall? I don't know. It could happen, it ends like in fall. But you don't see like characters grow up. Of course, in the epilogue of RDR2, you see older Jack, like you see Jack growing up and everything. But Rockstar aren't for doing like the massive time jump.
No.
It's like, alright, here's a time jump, here's 5 years, here's 5 more years, here's 5 more years. What everyone speculates is it will start with the gang starting, then ending at the Blackwater Massacre. But that, in my opinion, just isn't possible. I don't think they can do the entire game in 20 years. Plus, Arthur must have been with the gang for longer years. I don't know exactly how old Arthur is. I think he's 36. But I don't know how old he was when he first joined the gang. I think he was 15 when he first joined the gang. I remember Hosea saying, he said to Charles, that's around the same age we met young Arthur.
And then the drink had a mean hold on him. Around 13, I just took off on my own.
That was about the age we found young Arthur here. Maybe a little old.
So he was around 15, 16 when he joined the Vanderlyn gang. I don't see it being possible to make the game go on for that long and make the characters look older and older. Plus, you've got to keep in mind that Rob Wiedoff, John Marston, would sound older than he does in Red Dead 2, and John Marston in RDR2 already sounds older than he is in Red Dead 1.
Hello, old friend. It's been a long time.
Oh,
I ain't got much choice.
all right.
So, John will go from like, want me to take out a gun and blow a hole in your head right here, right now? You want that? Why'd I go to Arthur at the end? But then he was like, if we don't get work, I can't do John in RDR2, but he sounds older and older and older, and he's supposed to, and he's younger in RDR3 if that's what everyone's thinking. RDR3 is going to be when they joined the gang. I think it'll be too much work for Rockstar, because you know how Rockstar is. They need to take people away from Red Dead Online to work on GTA 6. And that's why I personally don't think that they can go down that route, because if they go down that route, then the game's going to have to go on for 20 years. That's why I just don't think it's possible. But the second one, there's three actually, but I'm only going to talk about 2 here. The second one, in my opinion, seems more reasonable, because it wouldn't take as much time, and it wouldn't be as long of a game as other stuff, if you know what I mean. What I think it could start with is like the last mission of RDR2. Like, you see Arthur giving John his hat, like, you're my, like, no, it would mean a lot to me. It would mean a lot to me. Please, there ain't no more time to talk. And then John would be like, you're my brother. And then when John runs off, instead of playing as Arthur, you'd play as John. And that would be like the prologue of the game. You'd play as John, you'd run off into the distance, and the game would center around John moving to you. Because if I'm not mistaken, Sadie says in the story, I didn't hear much of you after you went to.
I didn't think I'd see any of you again after you left for the Yukon.
I don't know, I could be wrong about that, but the game could center around John going to you and finding new adventures, because he never settled down in Epilogue. Like, he was always on the run. And he even said that he's not going to the bank because he has a goddamn price on his head. This is exactly what he says. So John, for 8 years, never settled down. And why did he have to come back from you? Exactly. They could have been setting up RDR3 in between RDR2 story and RDR2 epilogue. Because I personally think the entire story of Red Dead Redemption is John Marston's story and nobody else's. I mean, yes, you could argue it's Jack's story because Jack, of course, it shows Jack growing up in RDR2 and it shows him growing up in RDR1. That's fine, but personally, I just think the entire story of Red Dead Redemption is about John Marston. Not Arthur Morgan, not Dutch, not Jack. I think it's about John because he is the original. He's the person you first see. I'm excluding Red Harlow because he is 3D universe, and then everyone in Red Dead Redemption 1 and 2 are HD universe, so different universes. So I don't count Red Harlow. So John Marston was like the original. He was the one that you see in, like, through all of Red Dead Redemption. He was the one you see in growing up in Red Dead Redemption 2. You see in his progression from literally like the most naive guy to like more he has more potential towards the end of the story. Then of course in epilogue you don't see him at his full potential. You see him at like half. You see him at half potential. And that's why I feel like they could make the story before epilogue and after the main story of RDR2. I know you could just say it sounds like a DLC for RDR2, but that's personal opinion again. That's just what I think could be something that happens. The first one is more likely, but if Rockstar is going to go down that path, then they will need to be at their A game. They'll need to get multiple voice actors because you can't have like a 15-year-old. I don't understand why I haven't got a gun yet, Daddy. Can you give me a gun? So they'll need to have more than just Roger Clark to play Arthur Morgan. Yeah, they'll need more than just Rob Wiedoff to play John Marston, because of course the voice actors are older. They sound different, so they'll need new voice actors to do the roles of the younger characters. Even Hosea, Dutch, Abigail, Uncle, all of them will need to be changed if they are going to go down this route. They will need multiple voice actors for each character. They'll need like maybe 3 for Arthur Morgan, one for when he's young, one for when he's in his 20s, and then one when he's in his 30s, like towards the Blackwater Massacre. They'll need multiple for Sean Maguire, and well, I think they'll only need like 1 for Sean, like 1 extra. I mean, it depends on when Sean joined. I don't actually think they will, because I think Sean's about 21 in the main story, so I don't think they'll need another one for Sean or Lenny. But for the older members, they'll need multiple voice actors. Even for people like, I think, Bill Williamson, Javier Escuela, everyone. They'll need more voice actors for each character. That's about 9 voice actors just for Hosea, Dutch, and Arthur. Well, mainly Arthur. I think they can get away with using 1 or 2 for Dutch and Hosea. I know they can do something with the voices to make them sound different, but still, I don't really think they'll be able to do it for Roger Clark or Rob Wiedoff. So I think they'll need younger people to play the younger selves. That's just what I personally think. But hey, it's just a theory. We'll have to wait and see, because it could be right, and Red Dead 3 could be between the end of the main story of Red Dead 2 and epilogue. We'll have to wait and see, because some of my friends have even said, yes, the friends I have, some of my friends have even said that they think it's going to start with the Vandalin gang getting together, ending with Blackwater Massacre. I can't see that happening. I physically can't see that happening. In one game, I can't see that happening. Because where would the epilogue be? The epilogue couldn't be like after the last mission, because the last mission would be them going up to Colter right after. You can't have an epilogue in Colter. So I don't really see them being able to do it like that. like, if the epilogue, if it ends and it's like, and you see Dutch just like in New Orleans, like, oh well, we did that, son, we did that, we got away. I don't see that, because what RDR2 would not make sense. So I can't see them doing the story of RDR3 like that. I can't see it. And then, of course, the third one, which I might talk about a different day, is, of course, after the story of RDR1, which is the most likely, because it would make sense with the story of both RDR1 and 2. I think the third is, of course, Jack growing older. I think that one's the most likely because, of course, you wouldn't... There'd be too much work for Rockstar, and I think... I just personally think, story-wise, they wouldn't be able to do it like that. And the second theory, of course, with, of course, epilogue, in between epilogue and main story, that one seems more likely than the first one, but then the third one seems way more likely than the other two. So let me know what everyone thinks. I want to know everyone's opinion. And yeah, let me know if you enjoyed the video. I do try hard with these. Of course, I am recording these on iPad, so the audio is a bit bad. But if you got to the end, let me know, and I want to know what everyone thinks. But anyway, until next time, peace.